Hey human family, how are you? It's Darren. Welcome to another episode of Fully Alive Again. You guys, today I have an awesome reaction video for you. It's about a preacher who was literally robbed at the pulpit, giving a sermon. Gunmen walk in, and these assailants rob this man and the members of the church in broad daylight. But there's a unique twist here that really will shed light on narcissism in churches. So let's do what we do and dive deep.
No tears, no fears, fully alive again after these years.
Police are looking for the suspects after a Brooklyn bishop is robbed of more than $1 million in jewelry, and the incident was caught on camera during a live stream.
That's right. Bishop Lamar Whitehead was delivering a sermon yesterday morning when he noticed the gun-wielding intruders. Police say the suspects targeted the bishop and his wife. No one was hurt, thankfully. Lisa Evers is in Canarsie with what the bishop had to say after this horrifying ordeal. Lisa.
Well, Stephen Laurie, this well-known Brooklyn Bishop Lamar Whitehead holds his Sunday services in the space you see right behind me, with some of the faithful coming in person and many more watching his sermons via live stream. But on Sunday, his sermon was interrupted when armed robbers burst in.
Yo, all right.
On Sunday, as Bishop Lamar Whitehead delivered his sermon for his Leaders of Tomorrow ministry, police say 3 masked gunmen stormed in and rushed right for the bishop. They took more than $1 million worth of gold jewelry and gems, including a Rolex watch from the bishop and his wife.
This is certainly a sign of the times, but I really think there's more to take away from this story. It is unbelievable that some criminals walk into a church in broad daylight and rob the bishop, the pastor, and all of its members. It is shocking. We're getting so desensitized to these kind of unusual, emboldened acts of evil that are around us every day. Now, having said that, there's more to this than meets the eye. It's more than just signs of the time. There's a lot going on in this story, in my opinion. I personally believe that the bishop himself is not a good role model for anyone, whether you're a pastor or not. You see, we have built a culture where we worship billionaires, millionaires, and the rich. We worship money. You would have to be lying to yourself not to agree with that as the culture that we live in. I personally was caught up in this. It was how I lost my daughter to one of these demons. It cost her so much more than I want to even express on this show, but it cost me everything in my relationship with my only daughter. Evil is real, and it hides in many different ways. This next clip, I think, will open the door for my next point that I'm trying to drive home with this video.
I seen them come into the sanctuary with their guns. I told everybody, get out.
No shots were fired. People here are stunned.
It was just shocking to know that in this neighborhood something like that would happen. And it's thrilling for the people that come to church that day. It's horrible. It's sad to know what's going on in the world right now.
The armed robbers ran out, and then police say jumped into a white Mercedes for their getaway. Bishop Whitehead was in the news last May for attempting to negotiate the surrender of murder suspect Andrew Abdullah, wanted for the Q train shooting that took the life of Daniel Enriquez, who was on his way to Sunday brunch. Whitehead drove his $400,000 Rolls Royce to the 5th Precinct, but the NYPD took Abdullah into custody without his help. Whitehead has had his own contact with the criminal justice system, serving 5 years behind bars for identity theft and grand larceny.
It's my prerogative to purchase what I want to purchase. If I worked hard for it, I can purchase what I want to purchase.
Now, Mayor Adams took on the role of mentor to Bishop Whitehead when he was released from prison to help him turn his life around. He told the Daily News he'll do whatever is necessary to find those responsible. The NYPD tells us that a 911 call was made from the location and that this investigation is ongoing.
Now, can you guys guess where I'm going with this? One of the things that really taints a relationship and building a relationship with our Creator is that there's so many disingenuous pastors, bishops, churches, people in the religious game. Because it is a game. I don't trust this cat. Now, that's just me. And it's not because he went to prison before. Many people develop and become better people after adversity. I don't trust this guy because he's rolling around in a $400,000 Rolls Royce and having over $500,000 of jewelry on him and his wife while they're preaching from the pulpit. Do you see the contradiction here? And so many people that are stuck in poverty let little shiny objects and let the glitter and the fantasy of what money is and what it does blind them, where people like this can exploit them. In my opinion, I don't know that for sure. He could be a swell guy for all that I know. I really do think he's a swell guy just trying to save the church and help the members out while the poor are sitting there hungry, but he's blinging. What kind of self-awareness does a person have to be preaching in a poor community where members are struggling to make ends meet to wear that kind of jewelry? That's what Jesus wanted him to do, huh? To flaunt his wealth. Come on, man. What are you, high? Are you high? That's ridiculous. This is an example of what pushes people away from building a better relationship with God and setting up biblical boundaries in communities, families, etc. This is astonishing. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, I smell a little Jesse Smollett here. The way the other pastor was sitting there while these guys were robbing him was a little suspect to me. I wouldn't be surprised if a year from now, 6 months from now, that this whole thing was staged for insurance purposes. That's just me. I'm always looking with a third eye with people. I could be completely wrong. This guy could be a legit good man. I just can't see him being a part of a clergy living that kind of lifestyle. If he was a rapper, if he was an athlete or just a successful businessman that wants to flaunt his stuff and that's how he rolls, that's a different story. But to be preaching from the pulpit and blinging, in my opinion, is a contradiction of what he's there to do. It's not about you, believe it or not. Come on, man. Come on, man. What are you, high? Some of these preachers, man, in the black community, it's like, stop! I see you. So the takeaway today is to be very careful with those that you follow. I personally believe the relationship with you and God is the relationship with you and God. Do not buy into the church or the pastor or the messenger, because the odds are you're going to be let down, and it's going to jade you and prevent you from building a healthy relationship with your Creator, with our Creator. Does that make sense? And in narcissistic abuse today, with a crumbling society, and I mean that, and believe me, the world is in a mess. Our job is not to be in a mess. And there's times when the world is in a bigger mess and abominations and catastrophic things come to fruition. We're on the precipice of that. I really believe this. So in our time of healing of narcissistic abuse, it is imperative that we be very careful with the kind of people we align ourselves with, because we need our energy, our focus, as much as we can have to heal and to become whole again. Stay away from the blingy type of people on the pulpit. That's a narcissistic energy. Not all the time. I can't say it's 100%. But when it's in the church, it's very suspect. Outside of the church, I can't say the same thing, because people are different and like different things. But if you are a theologian, come on, just come on. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Please subscribe, like the video, share your comments and suggestions and concerns, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then, peace. Be well.